Hello, today we're doing lesson 5.7 and this one's titled Write Zeros in the Dividend. So this is what we do when we end up with a remainder when we're dividing decimals. So let's look at this and we're just going to jump right to step one. It says write the decimal point in the quotient above the decimal point in the dividend. So in this case, I do not have a decimal in my divisor, so I don't have to worry about that. So as you can see, there is a little blue dot right here, right above the decimal in the dividend. Okay, next we're going to go ahead and divide the tens, ones, and tenths. So can 4 go into 4? Absolutely, one time. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0, and we bring down our 5. Can 4 go into 5? Yes, one time. 1 times 4 is 4. I subtract and I get 1. Now I'm going to bring down my 8. 4 times what gets me closest to 18? Well, 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 5 is 20. So that's too high, we're gonna have to stick with the 4. 4 times 4 is 16, 18 minus 16 is 2. Uh-oh, I have a remainder. Well, in the decimal world, we can't just write remainder 2. It's like remainders don't exist anymore once you learn this little trick. So let's look at step 3. Here's all of our work. What you do in this case is you can add any amount of zeros after a decimal to continue your problem. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and add a 0. That's why it's in blue. And we knew that 18 minus 16 was 2. When we bring down that 0, we now have 20. So I'm going to carry over our quotient that we had so far, which was 11.4. And so now we're looking at this and we have a 20. So 4 times what is 20? Well, 4 times 5 is 20. And now I get a 0. I have no remainders. So my actual whole answer is 11 and 45/100ths. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and flip and try another problem here. All right, so let's look at this one. This one's partially done for us, so we're just gonna kind of pick up where it leaves off. 72 minus 60 is 12, and 12 is less than 15, so we're on the right track, but I can't have a remainder, so this was a whole number if you see here. It was 372. So in this case, you would add a decimal. So that's where this one comes from, and we put it right in our quotient. And then you add a 0. So don't forget, you have to have a decimal, then you can add zeros. So bring down your 0, and I have 120. So we have to figure out how many times 15 will go in 120. Whew, that's a lot. Well, let's see here, 15 and 15, so 15 times 2 is 30. 3 times what would give me 12? 4. But in this case, we'll have to go higher than that because I want to say, let's try, what is 6? Let's see, 6. 6 times 5 is 30. 6 times 1 is 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, that's 90. Okay, so we're definitely getting closer. Let's try 8. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. 120, that's exactly what we needed. So we put the 8 up here, 120 here, and we get a 0. We no longer have a remainder. Okay, a couple more down here and try this. So this one, it does have a decimal in the divisor, so it's showing you here how you move it. So they're saying that you had to move it twice on the outside to get a 6, So we had to move it twice on the inside and ended up with 123. So they put a decimal at the end of the whole number just in case we'd have to add a 0, which it looks like we do. So they followed the steps. So 2 times 6 is 12. I get 0. I bring down my 3. Well, 6 does not fit into 3, so we put 0. I put a 3. Well, I can't have a remainder, so that's where we had to add that 0 in. So 6 times what is 30? Well, that is 5. 6 times 5 is 30, which would give us 0. So that would be our answer. And on the second one, we have 10 divided by 8/10. So I had to move it one place on the outside. That means I'll have to move it one place on the inside. And sometimes that means we have to add a 0 in that blank spot, like they did here with that blue 0. So our new problem looks like this, 100 divided by 8. So I bring that decimal straight up just in case I need it. Can 8 go into 1? Nope. Can 8 go into 10? Yes, one time. So 10 minus 8 is 2. I bring down my 0. Can 8 go into 20? Yeah, at least 2 times, which is 16, which would leave me 4. Now, I can't have a remainder, so I already have my decimal here, so all I have to do is add a 0 and bring it down. 8 times what is 40? Well, 8 times 5 is 40. I would tell you when you're looking at your homework tonight, if you get more than 2 decimal places, so that means if you get more than 2 numbers after the decimal, then you did it wrong. All of the answers will have no more than 2 decimal places or a number in the hundredths position. So double check your math. You shouldn't have something with like 8 decimal places. You should only have numbers up to 2 places after the decimal. All right, I think that that's probably a good enough explanation on what we're doing today. Really not too difficult. All you have to do is add your decimal if it's not already in place, and then add as many zeros as you need to complete your problem. So if we go ahead and we look at our homework, which is page 333, you guys are going to do problems 7 through 14 all. So 7, oop, that didn't do the shape I wanted, did it? So maybe I should do it like this. Okay, that works. You get the point. So 7 through 14 all. And my blue group, you're going to do 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? So 7 through 14 all, or blue group is doing 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you absolutely have to show your work for all of this. You have to turn in home or work to get full credit. And you are definitely going to have to do your work on an actual piece of notebook paper because there's definitely not enough room for you to do your work here. So please copy these into your notebook. Please make sure they're numbered. Please make sure your answers are circled so that I'm able to see what goes with what.